the one who got T-boned. But yeah, they must have been going pretty fast because he somehow, they almost did like a 180 with each other. Anyway, about 20, 30 seconds goes by, and I hear this, the goddamn hell you doing? So, car door slams, and he's like, get the fuck out. What are you doing? Come on, man, what's up with you? We gotta blink it red. It's a stop sign, goddammit. I just got this call. Oh, fuck. Get the fuck out of the car. Don't bitch me texting while she driving. Shit.
Grown-up, human, comic, people. Grown-up, human, comic, people.
Welcome to the show. This is Volume 2, Episode 36 of Grown-up Human Comic People. We're back. We just sat back down at the table after a short break after the last episode. And,
this is Episode 37, I think.
37. You're right, 37, sorry. 37.
Oh, dude, I was just thinking that. I'm like, man, I messed up.
No, you're right. I was just holding the wrong paper.
Yeah.
Here's the correct paper. Episode 37. Anyway, we'll go around the table and everyone say hello, and then we have a guest too. So we'll go around. I'll say write that in there too. So around the table, Chris, J-Man,
Hey,
Greg,
Salutations.
Dan.
Good to be back here with you guys.
I'm Jared. We're the humans, and to my left, we also have a special guest. We got Ryan. Ryan, say what's up.
Ryan, yes, Amuck, if you please.
Yes, I can address you as either. Who for the purposes of this, maybe Amuck.
We're cool. You've earned that privilege. You
Okay.
can you can interchange. Yes.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so we
select few.
You can find us at grownuphumans.com, epicastnetwork.com/grownuphumans. Rate and review us on iTunes, Google Music, Stitcher, Libsyn, Facebook, YouTube, SoundCloud. If you rate and review us, we will read your review on the show, and I once again forgot to look and see if we had any. So I'm not sure anybody else did that. I'm sure we didn't. So maybe next episode we'll actually check them.
We're never going to check those. We probably have 30 of them at this point.
I shouldn't have said anything because now people are going to be discouraged to not do it anyway because they're like,
Yeah.
don't fucking check them anyway. They said it on the air. So anyway, you can find us at all those places at Grown Up Human Comic People, and then Twitter, Tumblr, and Instagram at Grown Up Humans. We're sponsored by Southside Comics. Go to 1931 East Carson Street. We just we finally had Dan back on the previous episode. Go down and see him, get some comic books. It's a fucking awesome shop. Everyone's real nice down there. And sponsored by Radical Trivia. Go to radicaltrivia.com. Check out some live trivia shows around the burg. It's a lot of fun. You can get some food, some drinks, prove your knowledge, win some free shit, and I will scream at you on a microphone, and maybe you'll like it. I don't know. And then we got check out Midnight Rose. J-Man, you want to say something?
yeah, our album will be out by the time you listen to this one.
Yeah.
Pretty much for sure.
Yeah.
So it'll be available on everything. Amazon, Spotify,
Yeah.
everywhere you can get it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Translation, it's coming soon.
Yeah.
Fuck you, Chris.
As well as our next show, where you can see us
I think
July
this will be-
14th.
this will be
Yeah.
that.
Oh, this will be after that.
Yeah.
I just realized
Maybe.
that.
Thanks for coming to the show. We're really glad to see everybody there. It was cool.
Yeah.
Go to metamesh.org. Donate to Metamesh. They bring free Wi-Fi to people who need it, and it's great. Ryan, would you like to tell us where we can find you? Sorry, I'm Amuck. Where can we find
Yes,
you?
please don't fuck that up.
Sorry.
Please don't start this off on the wrong foot.
Sorry.
God.
I'm Amuck. I'll call you Amuck from now on so no one's confused, and they can find you at the appropriate
Well,
places.
that's fine. You can just look up Amuck AMUCK 412 on any of that social media bullshit, and I'll pretty much be there. Just / Amuck 412 on all your shit. Just look it up.
Why don't you tell us a little bit about what you do as Amuck?
Yeah, so I've been a hip-hop, electronic, indie artist based in the Pittsburgh area for, about 7 or 8 years now, and really happy to be hanging out and talking some shit with you guys today. I'm a rapper. I'm a dad, so actually this next album's a lot about just kind of being a dad, and, I thought it'd be fun to talk with you guys a little bit about that, kind of kid's point of view insofar as comic books are concerned. We're getting to that age, but Yeah, just doing a lot of that. Just that 31-year-old dude doing shit that you should have stopped doing when you were like 14. And that's kind of my deal.
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah, we're all very familiar with that.
We are dad experts on this podcast. So lucky for you, we know a lot about parenting.
I'm sure we could give all kinds of advice.
Yeah, I have plenty of advice in the same way that, that 300-pound man on the couch always has some advice for like the quarterback. That's us, but for dads.
Or how we're all vagina experts.
Oh, yeah, vagina expert. Well, we decided we're just enthusiasts.
Right, yeah.
Thank
we
you,
talked about
Greg.
that last episode.
Thank you, Greg. Vagina enthusiasts, not experts.
Yes.
We have
10,000 hours.
10,000 hours.
What level's your character?
40's looking good.
I was actually just gonna the other day create a character for a D&D, which I had only recently played for the first time, and I didn't have a character. They made me an NPC, but yeah. Anyway,
They made you an NPC.
Yeah, but I mean, I became like a character with I was a dragon. It's pretty cool.
Of course you were.
I didn't choose that.
That's
okay,
fine.
so that
Hey,
wasn't. Yeah,
some of us are dragons.
I was chosen to be a dragon by the people I was playing with. So
I was chosen.
At least you were like a fucking sand crab or something.
that could have been interesting too. I'm sure sand crabs
Talk
have
about
that.
having heart. Those sand crabs, they don't give a fuck how big you are. They put their pinchers up there like, go ahead, try it. Try to grab me.
See, well, I think sand crab. I'm thinking about the one you dig in the sand, like the little guys, the really small
Hermit crabs?
No. Like they're sand fleas. I think they call them too. Like, I'm talking about those. They're about this big.
Oh, no,
like
I'm
2
talking
inches.
about like those ones.
Yeah, the ones that. Yeah,
They're like little tiny.
like the ghost crabs.
I'm talking about the guys that's in every single like RPG ever when you're like a level 1 guy and it's just like sand crab comes and starts fucking you up and you got to pick up like a rock and a stick and you're like, how do I use this? I guess I have magic or something, and you just got killed by a sand crab.
Sand crabs, and then like soon after that, like level 5, like wolves. Like wolves. That's like the next thing you have to fight.
Yeah, that's the next thing.
They made like a bear at level 10. Yeah.
And like a dude with a wooden shield just like murders you. Like, I'll see you in 200 hours. Your ass is mine, buddy.
Once I look like the dude on the fucking box, just wait. I'm getting that armor. Where were we? So actually we went to. Greg was there to your last performance at the Smiling Moose.
Yeah.
We really liked it. I
we
didn't
were,
get to say
all
that,
there
actually.
except Jared.
Right. Oh, yeah. I forgot. We all of us were there. Yeah.
Well, thanks everybody but Jared.
Jared, I kind of imagine you, Jared, as like a 70s version of the Grinch. Like you're just up and you don't like anything. You really
wrong.
don't.
Well, the Grinch is like a dick, though. He's not a dick.
Jared's kind of a dick sometimes. Sometimes. I mean, he's not like we come in and he has arms open, embracing you like a Creed lyric, and you're like, oh, this is nice. Jared's kind of cozy. But if we want to do something outside of what we normally, he's like, nah, fuck that shit. Not doing that.
I would totally cut the shit out of Chris for saying that you're anything like anything having to deal with Creed. What the fuck? I would cut that. He just said you're like a Creed song. And not just a Creed song, that Creed song that they played back in like the early 2000s that's stuck in your fucking head, and now Chris just bringing it up right now. It's now stuck in my head, and I can fucking see the video where he's
on
like
a mountain or
a
something?
shitty version of Eddie Vedder Jesus with his stupid hair blown and that dumb shirt and his pants. It looked like he took a shit in them.
With all water paw under all the shoreline.
Yeah.
I have a very
Fuck them.
specific problem with remembering that song. And I'm not even sure if this is something that like other people can experience. But have you ever like remembered something and your memory is 100% wrong, but you can't remember that specific memory any other way?
Yes.
Does anybody have like an issue with that?
I know
Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I know what you mean.
It's probably
Whenever-
like most of our memories.
I guess so, yeah, because over time that happens where things blend together. And for the longest time, I would remember that song and think, no, that's not the way that song goes. That's not what I'm supposed to be remembering. And I figured it out. When I remember that song, it immediately leads into that song between Mariah Carey and Boyz II Men about shining down on heaven. And that's the song I remember when I think Creed. And I can't stop it. I can't stop it. That's just what I remember.
That's fortunate, actually, because I hear the actual Creed song.
It's a very specific problem, and I don't know how to resolve it.
Yeah. Nope.
Like Missy, actually, Chris, I was trying to think, when have I had that experience where I've remembered something knowing I was wrong, but I still can't help remembering the wrong song lyrics?
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
The
all
one,
the time.
The one for me is jump in the line, everybody drink wine. Okay.
Damn it, Greg. Now I'm going to hear that.
It never. They never say that.
No.
And it's so much better than whatever it is that they do say. I never bothered to remember whatever that is.
I think it's everybody on time.
It's jump in the line, rock your body on time.
That's right.
Okay, I believe
yeah.
Or rock your body in time.
yeah.
Yeah.
None of us know.
Actually, that's not
Yeah.
bad. Actually, I should say that it's that much worse. It's pretty good.
Is that
too.
Harry Belafonte?
Yeah. Yeah. There's a great
in the line.
Big Bad Voodoo Daddy. I'm sorry, there's a great Cherry Pop Daddies. Right?
Actually, you guys are wrong. That was Winston Churchill who said that.
I always get those two confused.
It was his rallying cry as the Germans were nearing England. It's like
I'm just picturing Winston Churchill with his like kind of tubby self doing the thing at the end of Beetlejuice.
With the cigar.
Yeah, well, and he's hovering in the air and like he's like has his one hand on his belly.
Definitely something that he would do.
Oh yeah. With no pants on because apparently he did that too. So we were going to talk about on the first segment we were going to do we could do a couple of things, but we were going to we mentioned Get Out last episode. We never really discussed it because like we had very different opinions. Did you see Get Out?
Unfortunately, no.
Okay. Well, we'll briefly. We'll talk about it later.
On the car accident too.
Oh right, yeah. Greg was going to tell a story about a car accident that he witnessed. Why don't you just go ahead? Go for
Just
it.
right now?
Yeah, sure.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I didn't mean to cut that off. But it's I was leaving. Actually, it was Billy Castle and Rachel. They were there was like a cool little front porch party. Whatever. Thanks, guys.
Shout out to Billy. Sorry I wasn't there.
Yeah,
shout out to Junk Punk. Shout out to Rachel B.
Yep.
yeah, all cool people.
Got a big show coming up on August 25th, I think. You can probably find it out on their site.
August 25th. Wow, that's a while off.
Yeah.
They book way ahead.
Yeah, dude. Well, they're doing it at Diesel
Yeah.
because they're turning it into like a video, I guess, as well.
Oh, okay.
They're getting
Yeah.
footage.
That's literally a month away from when this is going to premiere. So that's only 30 days away from when you guys are hearing this right now.
Yeah,
So, yeah.
Well, that's good.
I think
Buy your
that-
tickets. Rachel B. There's going to also be a hip hop artist.
Jared, is Rachel your friend growing up?
No. I know her because she knows Dan, or like because she initially knew Dan.
Okay.
She came to work out with us.
Do I know Billy? Because I'm friends with him on Facebook, and I have no idea who that person is.
I'm not sure if you met him before. You may have like a
Okay.
show or something.
I don't know a lot of the people I know.
I know exactly what you mean.
Yeah, he doesn't know who you are either because I asked him if he knew.
Verified.
Okay, good. So Billy, I mean, we could be friends now, but we don't.
He's cool
no
as
idea.
fuck. Of course you.
We have no
you'll be
idea who
friends.
each other are.
I told him he could come over and like I think that he would like to be here for part of I said like as a member of the group, what I say stands too. So if you want to come hang out or something,
Yeah.
I think that
No, wait. Rachel was here.
Yeah, Rachel and Billy
For
have
my
both been here.
birthday. Like you
Yeah,
fucking met
I
them,
know.
man.
Oh no, they're cool as shit. Oh no, they're real cool. Yeah, we were supposed to go get Thai food with them. I dropped the ball on that. I'm sorry, Rachel and Billy. That's 100% on me.
Yeah, fuck you, Chris.
I'm a piece of shit.
Yeah.
Well,
Anyway,
we all know.
Billy's working on some really cool shit too. Junk Punk.
Yeah.
It's pretty rad.
Yeah.
So
anyway, Greg.
anyway, you're leaving
yeah, I was
their
leaving-
place.
Yeah, exactly.
on the east side of town.
Yeah, and so I got in the car, and I hadn't even started the car yet, and the lights were like on my street, like where I was facing. It's a one-way street, blinking red. Cross street was blinking yellow, and I just heard this crunch, and I looked up, and it was somebody ignored that, and I thought, oh, like it sounded like a giant tin can. Like it was the sound of a tin can like being crunched between two hands, like where it kind of like slowly happens.
yeah.
There was a tire screech and just a giant tin can because that's what the car was. Anyway, so the car that hit into the passenger side of the other one knocked its bumper off. Like it definitely ruined the engine in some way. And then the other guy, it was like, I'm sure he's got to get a new door. But he definitely suffered the lesser of the damage, the one who got T-boned. But yeah, I mean, they must have been going pretty fast because they almost did like a 180 with each other. Anyway, about 20, 30 seconds goes by, and I hear this, the goddamn hell you doing? So, car door slams, and he's like, get the fuck out. What are you doing? What the? Come on, nigga, what's up with you? What the? You got a blinking red. It's a stop sign, goddammit. I just got this call. Oh, fuck. Get the fuck out of the car. Don't bitch me texting while she driving. Shit. And, like,
She immediately had a heart attack.
yeah. So at that point, I was like, out on the, like, by this point, I'm out of the car and like walking towards the intersection. What the hell?
Did you assist in giving your like account of the accident?
That's what I'm doing right now.
No, I meant to the police.
Oh, no. But if any of them are listening, this is what happened.
Official statement.
It's recorded. Yeah, that's Greg's official statement. And I want to see someone stenographer that. Stenograph. I don't know how you would.
Stenographize.
What's the verb? Stenographize?
Yeah, that's
Someone should write that down.
So what happened, dude? So dude's screaming at this chick, telling her to get the fuck out of the car. She's probably terrified. Does not want to get out of the car.
Yeah, she went to, like, it was herself and male passenger. They both got out. She walked to the opposite side of the intersection from the guy. Like, she never addressed this guy who was yelling at her. And I presume boyfriend or brother or whatever got out of the passenger, and the guy's like, where's your goddamn insurance? I gotta see your insurance. And he's like, I got it, man. I'm cool. I'm like, just give me a second here. And
You realize I just got run into by a giant metal beast. Like, fuck.
It's understandable to be upset about that.
yeah.
Yeah. And so what happened?
I was hoping that guy punched that chick.
I was really waiting for
I was
it.
hoping that was going to happen.
I was really waiting for it.
No,
I still don't want her to get punched in the face.
I mean, if she was texting and she T-boned somebody, I kind of do want.
No. She got T-boned.
No. Actually,
she T-boned him.
She T-boned him. Is what happened.
The person who was upset and yelling was the person who got T-boned, correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
But they got T-boned.
By a female driver, and
She blew the red light?
yes, it was like the blinking red stop sign. She never slowed down or anything for you.
Got you.
It almost sounds like porn. So she got T-boned? She blew the red light?
I got it. I had a total misunderstanding. I thought that she was going through, because I know exactly the intersection. I thought she was blowing through the red light, and the dude, like, going on the yellow T-boned them.
How would you T-bone somebody in porn? What would that be? Would that be fucking their belly button?
No, man. It's like, it's one in the front, and one in the back.
That's
That's Eiffel
just
Tower.
yeah.
No,
or
that's
wobbly
just
H,
G.
Or wobbly H, yeah.
depending on what you do with it.
He said it like that's exactly what it is.
Yeah. Like he went to school for
It's
that.
one of two things. Yeah, it's very, very technical.
Okay, I take it back. So if she T-boned somebody, then yeah, I'd be fucking pissed.
Yeah. I was hoping she would end up being punched in the face.
I still don't want her to be punched in the face.
I don't know, man. She could have killed that guy. If you do some stupid shit like that, like next time, maybe you'll remember not to text and drive because you got punched in the fucking face because you almost killed somebody.
Yeah.
I don't want her to die.
Right.
No, you know what? Punches should be legal.
Yeah.
I get that punches, like, they can go a little beyond what you need them to, but, like, that should be like dueling in the Old West. Like, if you consensually...
I don't know. It's not really like dueling, though. Dueling suggests that there is a competition.
No.
If big men are walking around punching women in the face,
That's not
I
a
do
law.
not advocate this.
I'm not advocating that either. I'm saying that if you do something stupid, no matter who you are, the other person, if they were almost killed, should probably be able to punch you in the face.
No, because how can you enforce that? But I think
Maybe in a
lieu,
court of
in a court of law.
Yeah. Instead, if both parties consent to a punch off, okay?
Yes.
But
Maybe we could
that's
call it
the thing.
a punch
Like,
out.
Yes.
I'm with it. This accident, though, like I kind of feel like the story's going to go like the dentist from Little Shop of Horrors got into the wreck too, and it was like an 80-car pileup, and he was like, "What do you mean, baby? You think you can T-bone me?" And he just slaps her. It just felt like it was going there.
Steve Martin's a dick.
Yeah.
Steve Martin slapping women in accidents. That's actually kind of funny.
That's a great skit. That should have happened in the 80s.
Yeah, the more there's more. I'll finish up the story momentarily. There's not much left, but shit, I was going to comment on something you were going to say. Man, this drink. Damn it! I had like too much in the short-term memory of my thoughts.
Greg's been here sipping that purple drink out of his big styrofoam cup.
Scissor.
He's slouching over there.
Anyway, finish the story. Maybe
Okay.
you'll think of it later.
All right. The punching. By the way, okay, now I got it back. I'm back on track. I just recently saw for the first time in many months or whatever it was that happened, that Martin Shkreli guy, and I was watching the because he's going on trial or something soon, like looking at him in the courtroom where like you tell the people talking to him, it's just like, man, I think that the only good ending to the story is like getting up and punching this guy. Anyway, that was not worth retelling. This story, so that was great. That's whatever I was going to say. I shouldn't have said that in the first place. No, yeah, so whenever this guy called, the cops eventually showed up. They towed the cars away, but him calling the cops, though, he got on the phone and said, "Yeah, I'd like to report an accident. What is it? He said, but Aikens and Friendship, where some dumb bitch couldn't get up and never fall into the second. I don't care if no fucking cop hears me."
Well, you stuck around a while then.
I was just going to say that. Like
I did.
You waited for the police to show up and
Yeah.
shit? Like you were on your way out, right?
I was on my. Well, I was.
So you were just standing, watching this whole thing unfold, like just
Like Bong Boy.
intently. Yeah.
Wait, with five containers of quinoa salad and a couple bags of chips.
Yeah, that's true. You had food. So, yeah, you were hanging out.
Although the popcorn was like half gone.
He was standing
I was there for a while.
He was eating popcorn, watching a
Like
traffic
Michael
accident.
Jackson in the beginning of Thriller, that fucking meme. Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Okay, well, we might as well get to one of these books. So. Let's go to Bill and Ted.
And I'm really upset we're not talking about Get Out.
Well, we can talk about it in a second. How about that?
Okay.
Okay. We'll talk about it at the... Well, after
I got cut off earlier, so.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh man.
Oh, you're right. You did. Okay.
I did.
All right. Well, all right. We'll
Well,
get
talk
to
about it. Yeah.
We'll get to the book. People want to hear about the book. So, yeah. We got Bill and Ted Save the Universe. Does anyone want to take the reins on this book? Nobody.
Sounds like you do.
All right. Fine. All right. So, Bill and Ted Save the Universe. It's a Boom Studios book. It's written by Brian Joines and illustrated by Bachan. Bachan, Bachan, or Bachan, I don't know. Colored by Alex Gumaris and lettered by Jim Campbell. I just sound like I can't read at all saying all that stuff. So, this book, general kind of idea is that Bill and Ted are actually starts off with this kind of looks like a warlike planet, and then these beings in spacesuits show up with a giant boombox, and they start blasting some wild stallions. And all these beings who at the beginning were fighting, stop fighting, and just are happy and are fucking partying. And we cut to Bill and Ted. They're in the past, running away from Vlad the Impaler, which actually turns into them. Vlad the Impaler catches onto the phone booth and follows them back, and it turns out that it's actually a surprise party for them. Their, I think it's 5 or 10 year anniversary from.
Yeah. It's important to say. It looks like it takes place like right
It's 94.
after. So it's like right after Bogus Journey.
Yeah, so it's 1994.
pretty much right after.
Yeah, it's 5 years ago that they both passed their history exam from the first movie. Anyway, so Ted's little brother shows up with his girlfriend, who's this like hot redheaded chick, and she what does she do? Oh, she's like really excited to meet Bill and Ted. Rufus goes outside, and Bill and Ted follow him, and he's like, "Oh yeah, I just wanted to hang out for a minute before you guys," and then he cuts off, and they're like, "What, dude?" And he's like, "Well, I really shouldn't say anything." And the redheaded chick comes out, and she says, like, "I'm actually here. I'm not really interested in your brother. I'm just here to meet you guys because I have to talk to you about something." And then they all get abducted by aliens. And the alien leader's name is Primary Glurm. It turns out that his brother's girlfriend is also an alien, and Primary Glurm is concerned because apparently the Wild Stallions music has been crossing the galaxy, making peace on planets that would not have been peaceful otherwise, and he says that's a problem with like the evolution of planets, so he's like here to investigate. And so they try to escape from him, and then they kind of get caught, but then at the very last panel, they're saved by the two beings in the spacesuits from earlier, and it's Bill and Ted's moms, who you have not ever seen
Yeah.
the movies or the
Do they mention
comics.
them at all in any of the movies?
I don't think so.
Yeah, because it's just their dads. They
Yeah.
both have dads.
And
Yeah.
stepmom.
In the stepmom.
Yeah, and stepmom.
Yeah. What's her name? What's the stepmom's name in the first movie?
Missy?
Missy.
Missy.
Yeah. Yeah. Hey, Missy. I mean, Mom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's in this book too.
Yeah. Well, in the previous books, I don't know if anybody's read the previous ones before this, but she actually ends up marrying Bill's dad later.
Yeah.
Or no, wait, Ted's dad.
Ted's dad, yeah.
Ted's dad. Yeah. She divorces Bill's dad and marries Ted's dad.
I
So
think
she's
they
both of
say
their moms.
that at the end. Don't they say that at the end of one of the movies? At
they?
the end of Bogus Journey?
Okay.
Like they show, like when they're showing like the clips and like all the future events that happen, like right at the end.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I think they do.
Yeah, I think you're right, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because he divorced my dad and married your
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I do remember that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or that happens right at the beginning of the movie.
Sure.
I
We're
forget,
fucking
but I
that
do
all up.
remember.
I don't
that
remember.
all.
Whatever. That's what we're not going to,
Yeah.
That's what we do. We wildly speculate.
Wildly speculating.
Yeah, we're wildly speculating. Amuck, I'm not sure if you know, but we like one of the hallmarks. I mean, you've listened before, but wild speculation is one of our favorite things to do. So feel free, anytime you want to just throw shit out into the ether. It happens. All
I would have to speculate about this because I didn't read this book. The bear one I did read.
Okay. Well, yeah. Well, we'll get to that. I thought that was wonderful. So, who Jerry, you read this, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Did anybody else get through this?
I
Anybody else
read it when I was sitting here. The majority of it.
Yeah.
It's like, again, you could read every third page. You get it. But no, the one part I really do like is Death shows up to the party and his girlfriend's fate. And then he's like, You have managed to predetermine yourself into being a total buzzkill. That was like the funniest part of the whole book, I think, right there.
At the beginning, I like what he says at the beginning whenever they're about to talk to Bill and Ted. He's talking to her and he says, remember, they are a part of my band, but believe it to be theirs. Say nothing. So he like fucking lied to like some chick to get her to come to a party with him.
Yeah.
That was my favorite part. That was worth reading this book, I guess.
Yeah, this book's real silly. Take a look. It's pretty silly. I liked it. I mean, it's not. We're not going to sit here and talk about what they meant, what allegory is within the pages of this tome. But I like Bill and Ted, so I like this fucking book. There's a lot of like Bill and Ted writing in here. That's cool.
Yeah.
Two dudes who are dumb as fuck and they get into wacky shit. Love it.
Yeah. I mean, I love the movie. The first movie.
Yeah.
Well,
The
the
second
be-
one
You don't
was
like
funny.
the second one?
Second one was good. But I mean, it wasn't like.
It's got Death in it. He's fucking hilarious.
I mean, that is hilarious.
Oh my
He is
God.
hilarious. But the first one is
They sunk
is
my
great.
battleship. You gotta be kidding me. That shit was so awesome. They're playing Twister with him.
Also, that guy is never in a comedic role ever, because like he's in who that like I forget his name, but like you see that he's a character actor. He's in like a ton of shit.
That and
You
correct
see
me-
it- yeah.
Correct me if I'm wrong. He's the one of the bad guys in Die Hard 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the same guy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He's in
he's super straight.
Exactly. Yeah. He's never comedy except for that one role where he's really fucking funny. He's in the movie as himself too at the end.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I was about to say.
Yeah.
I didn't know
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know, man. The first one was killer. The
Oh, it's
first
great,
one was amazing.
Yeah.
The
First one's a
second one-
definite classic. The second one's like
The second one's a funny movie. It's
Yeah.
a good movie. But the first one is
I'd
classic.
say
really
on
like the
levels
second one, dude.
comparable, I'd say like Ghostbusters.
I was
1 and
just
2.
going to say that.
Exactly. Yeah, I'd agree.
Yeah. Although I think that Ghostbusters 2 is funnier, like relatively, than Bill and Ted is to the first one.
Well, of course, yeah, but ratio to each other, like the first one's classic, second one is still indispensable.
Sure.
You wouldn't want to not have it.
Right.
Sure. Exactly. Yeah.
I'm not mad about it.
Agree entirely.
Yeah.
I will say, at a glance, it feels like there's a lot of dialogue in this.
Yeah, there's a lot of dialogue.
Yeah, like it's not like your typical. Like, I mean, I am really not a Bill and Ted enthusiast, but my preconceived notion is like a bunch of dude and hey and far out stoner humor, and like there's obviously a lot of characters in here, and there's a lot of complex stuff going on, and there's a lot of dialogue, there's a lot of stuff to read. Yeah, I'm kind of surprised.
I kind of think of Bill and Ted in the same way I think about Trailer Park Boys in some ways, where the characters are like all so stupid, but the way that they're written and in the way in which they are stupid is very clever.
Yeah.
Like they always get shit wrong in the exact like the funniest possible way. Like it's always also very clever writing.
I mean, a show can be about stupid people and be clever or interesting, or in the same way that a show can be about smart people and be really stupid, like Big Bang Theory, or or what was? There's another one too.
How I Met Your Mother. It's kind
of
they're not
that's
smart.
fucking dumb as shit.
Yeah,
like all this.
I think that in order for a movie, it takes more effort to make a movie about or a show about dumb people because you have to be really clever.
Yeah.
Because you're not appealing to dumb people. You're appealing to like the subtleties of interacting with stupid people to people who aren't stupid.
Right.
And it's like it's being able to see that and like, oh, we have to just do a Rickyism.
Get two birds snowed at once.
Yeah, right.
Got it.
Like that's fucking brilliant.
Yeah.
But you have to be like clever and witty and I don't know, observant.
Yeah. That's the biggest thing.
I was going to piggyback on what you said. I think it's like it's hard to know a lot about dumb people if you aren't one. Not saying I'm not one, but no one pay attention to me. No, it's just people aren't as observant when it comes to that because smart people are romanticized and glamorized, and people want to look at that and say like, oh, look, there's a doctor, there's a lawyer, there's a CIA agent, but they don't want to pay attention to like what's this homeless person really doing, what's this person who's struggling, what's a single mom really doing. They just kind of typecast when they write dialogue for them. So that made total sense.
Yeah. I imagine.
No, go ahead.
No, I was going to ask. I was actually going to get off track. So good.
No, that's fine.
Okay. Well, I was
only going to carry on.
As when you write lyrics and stuff. I'm assuming you have to be observant, in your kind of everyday life to be able to write lyrics that people can relate to, in their experience.
You do, and I think to a certain extent, I'm very unrelatable, which is probably it's probably good. This is like an intervention. Everybody came here to tell me that my lyrics are unrelatable, and no, but you're right. You want to think. I mean, I'm not fucking Jerry Seinfeld or something, but you want to think of something that's totally obvious, that's just been sleeping there under the cover the whole time that nobody else noticed, but as soon as you do, everybody else will be like, oh yeah, that's great. Like same deal, same deal. I think in comedy and in writing and in hip hop, you want to get something clever that just was right there the whole time and nobody ever uncovered.
Yeah.
Maybe talking about it, like presenting it in a novel way.
Yeah.
Taking something that's not novel and presenting it in a way that's like, oh, holy shit, I never thought about it like that. Like, yeah, that's.
Mm-hmm. I think it's great whenever you see something and you think it's really funny and you can't even put your finger on why it's funny, but it's usually because it's something about that. Like you're like, oh yeah, that just happened to me yesterday. Like that is I think the cleverest of making things relatable.
That's I remember being back in high school and I was listening to it, as well as like punk, which was even from a time before me, but earlier than that, like the classics, like some classic rock stuff. And I wondered how songs like, Don McLean's American Pie, right? That was, you listen to the rest of his shit, like he doesn't have really any other popular songs, but that song's like something that everyone knows. And, Cat Stevens has some really like beautiful songs too. And I forget one of those guys, one of these like singer-songwriters who, had a handful of great songs, but they're not, it's not the fucking Rolling Stones, it's not the Beatles, it's not, they were saying really good artists, like they'll have one song that's about them, that's something directly from their life, and they can frame it in such a way, and that is their whatever, their pièce de résistance. Yeah. And I feel like with Don McLean anyway, like that American Pie is exactly that. It's something that is salient, something that was poignant. He was talking about his life, the sort of the state of the union at that point in time, and framing it in a way, talking about it in a novel way, taking things that everybody else was saying, Buffalo Springfield and Crosby, Stills and Nash and Bob Dylan and everyone else who had different ways of doing it, but he framed it in this novel way, and it resonated with people.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anyway.
You know what Don McLean said when he was asked what American Pie means to him? It means I never have to work again.
Well,
And
dude,
he
he
never
probably
did
got
anything after that.
That's awesome.
yeah.
That is true. I didn't want to steal thunder. That I knew exactly where you're going with that.
Yeah.
Because I'd heard that.
I
too.
knew that you were going to know that.
Yeah.
Of all the people here, you were going to know that exact quote.
And the message comes out there completely unimpeded by me because fuck him for saying that.
Yep.
So,
But I feel like he didn't write that. That wasn't a song that was written for a payday.
No.
You know, like that song is some fucking 7-minute long song, like making using all of these analogies and metaphors and like framing what was the state of America in the late 60s and early 70s. That was really fucking well done. He wasn't just like, all right, let's get this one out. No, you know what was? It's been a hard day's night, and I've been working like a dog. Like, great, that's fun. It was funny. It was, it pulls you in. But like that if the Beatles were like, you know what hard day's night means to me, it means that, we didn't have to fucking work at the burger shop for, that summer.
Right.
Like, okay, yeah, I believe that.
Well, I imagine at the point where he was asked that question, he's probably like heard that question 1,000 fucking times.
Right.
It's like,
Probably.
It's like, it's a payday. Next question.
Yeah. This is probably in the 90s, you know?
Right. Yeah.
I imagine that even so, like where he might be more annoyed than he is soulless about it.
Yeah.
Okay, I could see that because if he only has one song, that's the one song that he's being asked about.
Yeah.
Whereas the Rolling Stones have way more than that. Even like Led Zeppelin, I think get more annoyed whenever they ask questions about Stairway to Heaven. Yeah,
Yeah, exactly.
that kind of thing. But I do think, like, as far as the other possibility of like, has he gone soulless? I think that has definitely happened to someone like Mick Jagger, who, of course, right now is like top celebrity. Like, it's of the utmost importance to have a Rolling Stones tongue butter dispenser in his home theater wall.
Which I also own.
Where like whenever I.
Hey, yeah, it's
Hey,
yeah,
you
I
went
think
to the
he's
wrong
on the-
door.
He went around the other way.
we got food.
Guys are
Yeah,
missing each
excellent,
other.
yeah.
Oh, shit.
I don't know
That's fine. Yeah.
why you guys order from this place, but I wouldn't order again if I were you.
Is it
A container with no bank or anything.
Wow. You should tell us about it.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah,
Mike,
yeah. This
what happened?
This place is like a poor version of Dumbass.
we do have another microphone if you want to sit down for a minute.
I got to keep going, guys. My wife will kill me.
Okay.
Thanks, man.
Have a good one.
Tried.
Almost. Yeah, so we just got some food. Jared can maybe, I don't know, or leave it in. Who
I
cares?
think I might just leave all that.
Yeah,
I was like, listen, my company doesn't give health benefits. Okay, I just want everybody to know.
Chris, I think, went to look for that guy, but he was.
He
apparently
went
not.
through the wrong door.
He's still looking
He
for
went
him.
downstairs. That guy was upstairs.
He's
Yeah.
lost. Hey, that's how dope your place is, man. It's like I walked in, I'm like, this is like the Bat Cave if Wes Anderson remodeled. Okay, this is how I feel right now.
I'm going to take that as a humongous compliment. Thank you.
Big time, yeah.
I don't know what happened when I left, but
Oh, you missed a bunch of stuff just now.
Yeah.
The food's here.
I know.
You'll have to listen to the podcast. We're not going to tell you about it.
All right, that's fine.
Yeah. So anyway, what were you talking about, Bill and Ted?
Where's the rest of
We're
it?
saying something about.
God, I can't remember what topic
about
was there.
Apparently, it's all in here.
Oh yeah. Oh, I was saying. Yeah, I was in the middle of saying that.
No, it's definitely not on there. Okay,
I was in the middle of saying
make some complaints.
that Mick Jagger, I was saying, was he does his like right now he's like tops like his main MO is to just stay
Collect royalties.
Yeah, exactly,
Yeah.
and like be famous and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Whereas like I can't believe that when he first wrote Moonlight Mile or something that it was meaningless to him. But like whenever he sings it now, I can tell that it is.
Right.
that's probably true for all of it. That's like maybe every once in a while it sounds more authentic, but I don't know. It's like whenever. Okay, the last time I saw the Rolling Stones was 2 summers ago, and they were at Heinz Field, and they did Give Me Shelter. Now, whenever I read the review the next day in newspapers or whatever, they'd say like, "Oh, like burning rendition of Give Me Shelter." It kind of sucked. Here's why: they're out there. Like, first of all, I think that Keith was a little bit drunk, but
obviously,
but they were out there, and Mick like walked out in like the middle of the crowd on that catwalk. Okay, maybe you shouldn't do it on this song, but he did it on that song, and he's like trying to get like the crowd to clap along and everything. And then whenever it came time for the backup singer to do her solo, she came out and like, you know, strutting like a peacock and everything, and I came out there and they were singing like trying to like get the crowd to clap along, and like they bumped into each other at one point because they both turned, rotated and to face the other side of the stadium. But bumped chest, and like I think it kind of knocked the wind out of Mick for a second because I saw something spit forward, and while they were back to back, though, like he like started like grinding on her a little bit, like reached back behind her, and then she like smacked his hand. Like it wasn't a theatrical smack either. It was just like, look, I know that I could sue you for enough that would make this worth it, but I still don't want to do it. Anyway, but like that whole time, like what are the lyrics that she comes out singing to? Rape, murder. It's just a shit. Like why are you trying to get the crowd to clap along, like smiling, just like, yeah, you guys getting your $150 worth? You know?
Yeah.
That was what that song was about now, and unfortunately, that's what I'm saying. So things do lose their that may not have happened to Don McLean. Maybe he just got annoyed, but I'm pretty sure that Mick Jagger has lost it. All real worth that I think he had.
Well, I mean, like any musicians who they write songs about like angst and like struggle, and then they become famous, and like, where's your struggle? You have no more struggle. So, you have to either find material that's also poignant for you and for everyone else, or you begin to suck, like Metallica.
Yeah, because I mean, if you're not rapping, or I was thinking rapping because I was thinking like 50 Cent and like all these guys who are like studio gangsters, or like Dr. Dre or something like that. If you're not rapping about like shit that's real, if you're not singing about shit that's real, that's like real to you, right, to your experience in the world, then what the fuck? Like that will come across in your music.
Yeah.
And it's like what, 40? How many years? Vietnam ended in 1974.
Yeah.
So we're like 40 some years out, and that just, it can't have that same feeling that it did 20 years ago, 30 years ago, 40 years ago.
Yeah, but it could also be like if they were to be more genuine with it, it could be like singing about a time. Like, yeah, maybe not now, but like this thing that happened. Or
yeah.
whatever. I mean, yeah.
Okay, I see that. I can see that. Yeah. It made me think about too. So, Deicide recently came through Pittsburgh, and I think they released a new album. Like, what are you guys still worked up? Okay, yeah, we get it. Like we get it. Whatever Christianity is.
That happens whenever you base a whole group or concept on like one thing.
On like hating something.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, who is Deicide?
You don't know Deicide?
No.
They're like black metal. They just sing about like hating Christianity and worshiping Satan. Like, but
I'm in.
Yeah.
I don't disagree with either of those things either.
That's a whole lot of shit that
I'm definitely not worshiping Satan, because like you're jumping right out of the pot and into the fire. Don't trade me a fucking shit sandwich for a turd burrito. Like I'm done worshiping things.
Well, I don't know.
But that's fair.
I like flatbread though.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I mean, that's
and massages.
If I have to eat turds, like I would prefer like if you were making me a turd sandwich and you were like, listen, you got to eat this. There's no circumstances around it. You just do this, and I'm like, all right, I'm gonna go with like pita.
For a turd sandwich,
yeah,
I feel like pita's a little bit like a pocket.
But I feel but I feel like with a turd sandwich, like I can it's like hummus, like I can spread it on there. Whereas like if I'm getting sourdough, like that's a whole sausage.
Pretend it's something else.
It depends on where you are on the scale, obviously.
I would want a nice, sweet Hawaiian bun that's just really absorbent, so that shit can just trickle and just kind of symbiotically merge with the bun and disguise the flavor of the actual shit.
With the little seeds on the top. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I could dig that.
Nah, I don't know about that. I mean,
because you don't want to lose the poop water.
Ooh, the poop.
Like the
drainage could have a weird umami if you let it.
I think it's mucus that's on the outside of a turd. There's your intestines put like a mucus on the outside of it to make it easy to come out.
I just imagine your wife yelling at you as you're making shit sandwiches, like, Ryan, you're wasting the shit umami.
Trust me, I'm going to get it when I get home just due to the contents of this podcast.
Yeah.
So you talked about the intricacies of the bun surrounding a shit sandwich.
Yeah.
Look your children in the eyes now, Amuck.
Yes. My wife questions my judgment quite often, and I can almost never blame her.
Well, as long as you're both on the same page.
See, sorry.
No, go ahead.
I was going to actually use this segue to talk about Get Out.
No, we're not doing that
it.
because Ryan didn't see it. No, you got to see it.
That doesn't matter, man. It's not my podcast. Go for it.
No, I put a foot down on this one.
Fuck
because
you. I got cut off. I'm going.
We'll keep it brief.
No, it'll be 5 minutes.
Keep it brief.
All right.
I feel like one of the only reasons that Get Out was so popular is because it is poignant from the standpoint of white people oppressing black people, which is, there's been a lot of that in killing black people in the news lately. Aside from that, it's like a fucking average horror movie. It started out with a decent premise, like it was cool, the build up, but then you got into the heart of the movie, and it's fucking stupid. They're performing surgery with Civil War grade instruments.
Well, I want to go on record and say that I disagree with you as much as I possibly can.
That's why I wanted to talk about this, because you have totally different viewpoints.
Yeah, and we can't ruin that. We can't talk about it without ruining it, because I don't think you're giving.
Man, the movie is out on DVD.
I know.
This is not first week. This is not like first week Star Wars shit.
I did miss the boat.
It's fair. We don't have to spoil it too heavily. But
just talking about the end of the movie is spoiling it, and that's one of the reasons why I want to talk about it, because the way the story unfolds, you can watch it the entire way through and have no idea what's going on at the beginning of that story and see it through to the end. Like, I had no idea what was happening. When it got to the end, I realized that from the get-go, they tell you exactly where that story is going. They give you clues along the way to tell you the way that the movie is going to finish up, and they give very unique and slight details the entire way through. And you go back to the very end of that movie and say, so this started from this seed of this idea they gave you in the first 15 minutes, and it bloomed from there.
I mean, only insofar as there is a cohesive theme in any movie, as opposed to taking random clips and just shoving them together.
No, completely disagree 100%.
No. I know what he's trying to, because a lot of really classic films have this thing at the very beginning where it tells you exactly what's happened, what's going to happen. Memento does that, and I think. Seven does that? There's a few movies. Fallen exactly. Fallen does that. Yeah, he fucking says it right there.
Yeah.
Fallen does that. There's a bunch of movies where it gives you, in the genius of the movie is playing out this it's almost like a prophecy where it tells you what's going to happen, and it does.
It's non-linear. It's not about what happens. It's how it happens. Sure.
Let me ask you this, because I can reveal this without ruining the movie for Amuck.
Just ruin it. I don't give a fuck, dude.
No, you really need to see it. It's amazing.
If people didn't see it out there listening. Yeah.
But
don't do it.
Let me just ask you.
This movie is fucking old at this point.
We can. You guys are smart enough to talk about this without ruining anything. I know. I believe in you.
That's how.
Anybody here see the Great
It's
Train Robbery?
not telling. We shouldn't discuss.
Can we talk about the Great Train Robbery yet?
Okay. Just let me ask you. Because I didn't get this the first time. I had to go on Reddit, and somebody suggested this, and it blew my mind. But just one of the smaller details of the movie, did you realize when you were watching it towards the end, when, spoiler alert, the main black guy in the movie is in a horror movie, so he has to get out of a situation, and he gets out of his most pertinent and situation where he is in peril by picking cotton.
Dude, that is so fucking far-reaching. That is out in left field. Every goddamn chair. If I tore
I
open
did not
Jared's chair, there would be some fucking synthetic-looking cotton shit in there. They are reaching. These are they want to make this connection. This connection, I think, is.
I mean, but that's I'm
That's not reaching.
That's not reaching.
No.
That's like because it's an unconventional way of escaping that situation.
Exactly.
So
No,
it was
he
put there.
has to clog his ears. What else is he going to do?
But
If he
they
can't-
set that up on purpose to draw parallels back to the whole. You just didn't get this movie. That's what I feel.
No.
You're an intelligent human being. We disagree 100% on this, as does the rest of America. It is a 99% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Well, it sounds like you're saying that you see the connection, but you're just unimpressed with how it was executed.
I think
and
you're saying that it wasn't
didn't
intentional.
affect you.
Right.
You're saying people are
exactly. And I don't feel like it was intentional. I think, like, retrospectively, you could go back and say, like, we did that to further illuminate the historical context in which blacks and whites have interacted.
Well, he is
But I
a
don't
detail
think it was,
freak. As a
Yeah,
director,
that's the
right?
thing. Like Jordan Peele, like I do believe that because of who directed the movie. Like Jordan Peele is like, and especially like at the time, I think every detail about the movie was very intentional.
Yeah, and he also stated that was it's written that way on purpose.
Yeah. So I believe in Jordan Peele's ability to like put in little things like that in there.
I don't know. I wanted to like it. So, like I said, before we got started, I watched it in two parts. I watched 45 minutes, and then it just got too late. I had to go to bed. It was like 2 o'clock in the morning. And I couldn't wait to finish it because it was so fucking good.
Yeah.
And then it just was like, oh, this is what's happening. This is like, it felt like.
See, I thought the way that it plays out, because initially I thought it was just like, I thought it was much simpler. Like the solution to what's happening was much simpler, and then the way that like plays out is equally like, it's really horrific, like super horrific.
You know what? And the way that you stated that, I feel that this isn't your opinion. It's the way that you watched it, because there's a dichotomy in this movie. The beginning of it's a thriller. The end of it is a horror movie.
Yeah.
It's
yeah. Maybe.
Yeah, it really is. And I think you were watching it like you got into it, and you're like, this is a thriller. This is, but the whole point of this movie is it was a black and not urban. This was a movie for the African American community as a horror movie, and he went above and beyond with that. And the beginning of it is a thriller. You're right. It's very much grounded in reality, but they put those seeds in there to make it a horror movie in the last 45 minutes of it. If you watch this again, and if you watch it all the way through and see the seeds that they plant where they genre bend this movie into what it's supposed to be. It's not a trans movie. When you get to the end of it, I really think that you're going to appreciate it a lot more than you do right now.
I will say that there have been times whenever I've like watched the first part of a movie and then watched the second part of the movie, or watched it and like broken up into pieces. I just I didn't have time or whatever, and I say I had to return it to the fucking Redbox or something, and I was like, I got to get through this fucking movie. And like, if you don't watch a movie the whole way through, like beginning to end, it's difficult to sometimes like to get it for what it was intended to be, because like the experience to sit down and watch the whole movie at once.
I got a good example here. Full Metal Jacket. Those are very different movies if you stop right in the middle.
Oh, yeah.
Very, very different. But if you watch that whole movie, the beginning, while very different than the end, makes sense leading up to the end of that movie. And I feel that while not as extreme, this movie is along the same lines of that.
Yeah, I can see that.
My closing statement stands, though, that the popularity and the hype surrounding this movie has to do with the particular climate.
Oh yeah,
like that this
definitely.
country,
It's affected it, sure.
Like, and I really like Key and Peele. I think that what's his Jordan Peele?
Yeah.
I think he's brilliant. I think he's hilarious. But part of it, I don't know. Part of it was like, man, was this like in poor taste? Was this taking like what's going on, presenting it in like some horror way, like benefiting from the hype of what's going on, like with black people being killed by cops?
Again, I disagree with you. I think it was the most sophisticated way to deal with it because there was no race blame. It was very specifically a white versus black scenario, which we have a lot of, obviously. But in this circumstance here, like from the get-go, they say, you know what? Our race relations are okay. We have a white female and a black male getting together, and it really, like, the crux of the movie, it's pro-black. That's what it is, and it's dark to even say that, but it is. When you know what the actual, like, true nature of what they're trying to get at.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's absolutely saying, like, oh, these white people, like, yes, it is. It is a weird compliment to being black because of what these white people want from the black people.
Yeah.
So yeah, it is pro-black in that sense, but it's white people victimizing the black community even further.
Yeah,
Right.
Well, and it's all like super blatant. Like this is like everyone in this fucking town is like racist as fuck.
Yeah.
No matter how much they say, like, oh yeah, I really like black people. I mean, obviously, yeah. There's a lot to talk about with that.
There is. You know what? I think just like we haven't even scratched the surface of this movie.
Yeah, and that's the thing.
Like, we should stop talking about it now.
Yeah, but just because I mean, and I think as we've said before, like sometimes with some of the comic books, you pick it up and just the conversation. Actually, you said like just in the last episode, like sometimes like the conversation you get from in taking something like a book or a movie, or whatever, the conversation you get out of it is worth the experience of whether you liked it or not. Like,
right,
worth the experience of watching.
For sure.
So, I mean,
and actually, this is like another, if I can segue, a question for Amuck about like being a white dude, like whose like form of whose artistic medium is a traditionally black medium. You know, like how do you find that experience? You know, like are you playing shows? Are you doing shows with like other black artists? Are you like what is that like? You know.
I mean, I'm pretty much indifferent to it. You know, I mean, I don't know that I'm embroiled enough just in the hip hop community to feel like a fallout from that in any way. And also, I think it's the other part of it is it's 2017, and I think you just have a really just friendly scene in the city in general with hip hop. I mean, there may be problems with the scene, and there may be things that are going on that could be better, but I don't think any of it's race related. I think to that extent, you're seeing a lot of white artists get booked in black neighborhoods and vice versa, and I think that part of it's really on point. But I just personally, I'm probably not the best person to weigh in on that because a lot more. What we have done is play more with like progressive and indie rock bands, and just by no fault of its own or just by happenstance, that's a primarily white scene. You know, you might see a couple black dudes in the band, and that's changing more and more. But we just happen to play with a lot more white people because that's who we're playing with, you know?
Yeah.
So it becomes, to that extent, it becomes a non-issue. And, you know, I heard you say earlier about when we were talking about songwriting and, you know, somebody not just saying things just to say it, that they have to actually feel that, have to relate to that. I think that when somebody does that or they try to embellish their background, I think that's totally apparent. I think they kind of, in any scene, get called out for that. If you're not authentic, if people don't relate and people don't feel what you're doing, I think that you will just eventually not get booked and you won't be in that scene anymore. So I'm just probably not the best person to ask. I see it as a non-issue for what I do.
Yeah. I mean, I just imagine that you have to have at some point gotten shit for being like, oh, you're a white rapper. Oh, here we, you know, like I can just hear it, and I think that everybody, all the white dudes who I went to high school with, and you know, who were like trying to like freestyle and rap, they caught shit from like both sides, from other white dudes and from black dudes who were like doing the same thing.
True.
You know,
It also might have been a bigger thing like 20 years ago than it is now, just because that much time has passed, and so it's had that much more time to integrate, like to cross-pollinate in different communities. And I think about that, like Little Richard's band probably, I don't think had any white people in it, but by the time you get to a little bit later, like Booker T and the MGs, or like Hendrix or whatever, like, or Rare Earth. Well, no, I think Rare Earth was all white. I can't remember. Anyway, whatever. Blues, jazz, whatever. Like 60s, it was a lot less one-sided race-wise than it was 50s, 40s. You know,
Yeah.
So, and by now it's 25 years after rap really kind of hit hard.
Like rap. What year was Rapture's like early '80s, right? Something like that.
Yeah.
That was the first like hit rap song.
Yeah, and I
That's
think
cool, yeah.
yeah, just to chime in on that too, you know, I think if I were coming out now, we're doing something where I was saying like, man, I moved all these bricks today and I did all this shit. Like, I'm not doing that, you know. Like, I don't think people feel the need to call me out or feel threatened by me because I'm rapping about comic books. You know, I'm rapping about being a dad. Like, I'm doing it out of context. You know, I'm doing it in that format, and I'm talking about things that are me. It's not quite Lil Dicky. It's not quite to the point where it's Weird Al Yankovic or straight up comedy, but it has a lightheartedness to it, and I think that people know that everything that I say is either true or it would be a far-fetched nature of my reality where I wasn't trying to portray myself as somebody that I'm not, and I don't have that experience. And that I have seen, you know, white MCs do that and it not go over well when they're playing for a black audience in the black community because it's just so obvious and it's just immediately rejected. It's like it's like an acid reflux in the scene. They just don't like it. Yeah. And I think not to say people always like me. There's a lot of people that will see my shows and be like, that's not for me. I don't know what the fuck the dude's talking about. Like, it's not my deal. But I don't ever think that they think like he doesn't actually think that. I think they just think, fuck that dude.
Yeah.
You know? That makes sense.
Having seen your show fairly recently, like I can tell, even just with the amount of energy you put into it, like you actually do like feel genuinely about the things you're talking about. Because if you didn't, I can't imagine you because like you fucking get into it. Like I was a couple times afraid you were going to hurt yourself.
Oh man, did you see the video he posted on Facebook?
No.
So you posted recently the various camera shots you had from that show, and it's like a 3.5 minute long video, and I would say for at least 2 minutes of that you're in it, Jared.
Yeah.
And you're just in the front, and you're like, "Fuck yeah, this is awesome!" Like pummeling your like hand in the air, and you're just like, yes, and it looks like, you know, really good. And then Ryan Amuck, you're just going crazy. I mean, you went apeshit on that show, and props to you, man. It was a phenomenal live performance. And then about like 2.5 minutes into this video, the camera pans to me, and I just look. I have tits. And like I look like I'm lactating. And my nose is like dripping, and I'm like, ugh. And I went, nah. You know what? I'm my own worst enemy. Like that, I don't look that bad. And I rewound it, and it was worse. Like I got like Ren and Stimpy vision at that point, and I could like see like hairs like sticking out of my chest, like through the t-shirt, and I was just like, oh my god,
see the veins in your nipples.
Yeah, and it was bad, and then I watched it the third time, and I was like, I don't think I'm going to work tomorrow. This is just really depressing on my part that I look like this. I'm just soaked in sweat, and you look perfect. You fucking asshole. But yeah, that
Nice of you to say thank you.
yeah, you're welcome.
That's how I feel about coming on this podcast because I've been on podcasts before and I've heard them back and I thought, God damn, I just sound like a just meandering fool. I just should kill myself now. You know, you hear that. Sometimes you see yourself in a way you didn't expect, or you hear your own voice in a way you didn't think it would sound, and it's not pretty.
Oh, dude, I absolutely don't like the sound the way I sound. I don't like to listen to recordings of myself at all. I think everyone's kind of like that, where like because your voice sounds different in your head than it does whenever you hear it, you know, on a speaker or something. I don't personally like it at all.
I want to bring something up, if you're okay with it, about your kids and the UPMC thing. You cool?
Yeah. Oh, I thought the way you prefaced that, I thought it was going to be like molesty stuff.
Oh, no.
It's like, nah, man, no way.
No,
I'm going to hashtag
Oh, by the way, I forgot to
molesty stuff.
say.
molesty stuff. Yeah, hashtag molesty stuff.
Because
with a lot.
I know you so well, Chris, and that's something I know you for.
So, when Ryan and I met each other, and also harken back to Sykes and produced a lot of Ryan's early stuff. Is he still producing your stuff, or was that just like the first couple albums?
He didn't do much in the last album, but he is producing a couple tracks upcoming, so
Nice,
we're going to be working together again.
Yeah. So obviously, you guys know Sykes. You know his podcast. He's been on here a couple of times, and he and I went to high school together. And it's funny because he in high school he considered himself an artist. He did not consider himself a musician or a rapper at all. In fact, I was in a band in high school with a lot of friends, and he was very supportive of that. But like we had like social studies or something together, and he was always an artist. He didn't play a single instrument to the best of my knowledge at that time. But he would definitely go against all of the rappers at CCAC. And I remember one time there was a circle out front of CCAC where we were just hanging out, and Sykes goes up and he's like, yeah, I'll totally like freestyle rap with you guys. And there was like a group. He was the only white guy there. Everybody else was black, and they were like going into it. And I just remember walking away because I had to go to class, and I hear somebody beatboxing, and all of a sudden Sykes go into it like, extra, extra, read all about it. And he just immediately starts this onslaught, and I'm like, I turned back, and I went to class like 5 minutes late because I was like, dude, you're actually really good at rapping, and that's where all of this came from. But I was just hearkening back to that real fast, that we had him on the show, the whole black-white thing. He's been doing that since 2002 when that happened, so I don't think that was a big thing. But in regards to meeting Ryan, we worked together at a bullshit place that we both hated. You lasted longer than I did, but
That's what she said.
That is what that was the baby to the punch.
So we've got Shirtless Bear Fighter.
Fuck that book.
Okay.
Dude, I was gonna do it. Dude, have Dan do it.
Yeah, okay.
I want Dan to
right.
to
Dan,
introduce this one
you
because
can,
he hates it.
Jer has
book
requested
is-
you specifically.
Yeah,
In the words of the great Jer, this book is dog shit.
I didn't say that.
Not about this book. Not about this book, but plenty of books
Oh yeah, I have said
before.
that before.
That's
yeah.
that is your line.
Well, also, if any of the creators of this book are listening, his opinion does not necessarily represent the opinion of the rest of us.
no, he hates Get Out. What type of piece of shit hates that movie?
I didn't say I hate Get Out. What I said was,
It has a 99% on Rotten Tomatoes.
yeah, you know,
You know what Cars 3 has? I don't know. Who gives a fuck
probably
about Cars 3?
98% too.
No, it's a piece of shit.
I said it's mediocre. I didn't say it's terrible.
I
Anyway,
just-
Shirtless Bear Fighter. It's dog shit. So there's 5 names on the cover. Don't know what any of them do.
flip the inside cover.
Oh, on the inside cover is a bear. No, that's
There you go.
yeah. Still 5 names.
I think they might have credits though.
Yeah. So it was written by Jody Lee Hoop and Sebastian Gerner, and the art was by Nil Vendrell. Now, don't get me wrong. This book isn't like dog shit overall. If you want something funny and stupid and you like Bear Shark and that's the kind of humor you're into, that's what you're going to get here. It's a naked dude who was raised by bears, and then bears killed a woman that he presumably had fallen in love with. And so then he transitioned his life to fighting all bears always. He drives a bear spaceship.
I forgot.
He's wanted by the CIA because there are giant bears attacking cities, destroying armies, and he's the only one who can defeat the bears.
Dude, it's got like a Commando parody to it though.
Yeah, it really
it's
does.
so much like that movie.
yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
it feels like
He's
that.
supposed to be like this badass, and they have to like bring him back in to like take down this evil.
Yeah, and it's just the humor's lost on me. I just don't think it's funny. This shit just isn't funny to me.
Are you feeling all right today?
No, I don't think this is funny.
Did you like
I didn't like Bear Shark either.
It's Grizzly Shark.
Grizzly
first of all.
Shark? Yeah, I can't let that sit.
Grizzly Shark.
Greg will not stand for that.
No.
I laughed at one panel in the second issue of Grizzly Shark.
What? No, you didn't. You and Becky both didn't like it before, and once we talked about it, you guys agreed that it was funny.
I'm
laughed
sorry.
a little bit.
It's on record.
I did not see or read Grizzly Shark. What is this?
I have both. I have all three of them over there.
It's recommended by all of us.
There's
All of us.
3 of them.
Yeah, there's 3 of them.
I
Did Sci-Fi produce it?
Yeah. No, but they should.
They might.
They should. Yeah.
They
I love
might.
it. So, I'm going to take this away from you right now.
if you want dumb shit, then you laugh at it. A guy with no shirt on with his cock hanging out.
So-
hilarious. Cocks are hilarious.
All right. So,
Find that one line that was awesome.
oh, there's so many
Read
lines that are
that
awesome.
shit. You
So-
know which one I'm talking about.
I'm gonna kind of explain this again because that's kind of what.
That's exactly.
So
It's not deeper than that.
no, it's not. So bears are attacking the city, and CIA has to find Shirtless Bear Fighter, who apparently his name is Shirtless. And that's his
Yeah.
actual name because that's the only name he gets called by.
When they find him, he's butt-ass
He's
naked.
butt naked,
Yeah.
with a humongous wiener. Like his dick is blurred out, which is even funnier to me. Like if it weren't blurred out, it wouldn't be as funny. I don't think. Like to me, it's so much funnier because it's blurred out.
Yeah,
Every
it would just
panel.
be gross. Yeah.
So he at one point he fucking Russian suplexes a fucking this bear, and his dick is like almost, it looks like it's erect kind of.
It's
anyway,
like flipping back.
It's flipping back, yeah. And another point, he's talking to these people and he turns away from them. Then he turns back to them, and there's a sound effect. There's a slap sound effect as he turns back to them. I'm getting off track. Anyway, so this book isn't subtle, but it is so over the top in like just the right way. Because Grizzly Shark is stupid in a lot of ways, and some other books the bad way to do this, Amerikarate. Like that book was trying to do something similar
Dumb
to
as
this,
fuck.
it just didn't land. This, I think, all these jokes land really well. I fucking think this is hilarious.
I definitely had a smile on my face just reading every panel. It was for some reason.
Yeah, like what was the line you guys looked
The one like lady is like, she's like the outsider to the whole thing, and she's like, "What is this craziness happening? This is the guy we were gonna save us." Like,
And then he like shows her a picture of a cat, and he's like, "Oh, check out this picture of a cat." And then she's like, "Oh,
yeah, that wasn't a great joke. I'll
No,
admit
it's-
that one.
that was-
okay.
that's dumb as fuck.
was
That was
shitty.
a weak one. All right.
Yeah.
sure.
You know what? And you
But the
pricks-
thing about him being like, he said, sometimes God makes a man too much of a man. I'm not saying it right. I wanted him to find
Okay, so
it.
he's explaining.
really
She
good.
asks what the hell who he is. So yeah, that's what he says. He's just a man, Agent Silva, but sometimes God makes a mistake and makes a man too much of a man.
And that goes across 2 pages too.
Yeah. And then the next fucking, so the next panel is a group of bears living, like one of them has a hat on, a group of bears living in the fucking woods.
It looks like
in
a
little
goddamn
bear community.
Berenstain Bears.
Yeah, it does exactly, which is also funny. And then the narration is, years ago, the forest bears lived in peace in their bear towns, gathering honey and berries, fishing for salmon, and teaching their cubs the way of the forest. And it's just like this silly, idyllic bear town, and it just goes. And then they find this baby who has a beard and a huge blurred out dick. I don't know how. You're almost smiling right now.
No, I'm smiling because I don't
He
see
hates
how
it.
fucking funny it is. Like I don't. Like this humor does not. It's not my. Like I don't think that's funny. It's like. It's just,
You know what? It's very heavy on hyperbole and personification.
Oh,
and
yeah.
if you don't think those things are funny, you're not going to find this funny.
No, I think
I
hyperbole,
personally do, and I
think
love it.
hyperbole is hilarious in certain
Yeah.
contexts, but this, no, like
This is really not my cup of tea either. You know, I think that I've known people that this kind of humor really, really works on them. It doesn't really work on me. But I think one thing this book does really cleverly is like it differentiates itself in the art style. Like you said, this guy's hitting a perfect German suplex, and he's got a full erection, and it's like the profile view, and it's just a very cool. It's just the art is very cool, and then he hits like a deep arm drag. He's like actually wrestling this bear, and then there's a part where he's holding a bear. They look like they're each like 1,300 pounds in each hand, and barely touching the bear's skin with his fingertips, just clearly just ridiculous over the top. I think some things they do with that in the art style make it kind of like it keeps me into it. You know,
Yeah.
it keeps it moving. It's like just light reading. It's like I can get through this. You know?
Right, yeah, it's not. You're not thinking about it. You're just like, okay, that's fucking a bunch of bear shit. It's dumb, but it's funny.
See, another part of me though, like a part of me wants to like this. A part of me wants to sit there and laugh at this. Like I just, and maybe I'm just too much of a miserable prick.
Did you just have to go to the bathroom when you read this?
No, but I didn't have
Are
to
you sure?
shit. I just
You
sat
sure?
there and read it. Yeah,
Were
and
you
I'm
hungry?
thinking- No, I wasn't hungry either. I
you
didn't
rub the
need to
lamp?
rub the lamp.
Oh,
No,
okay.
I didn't have to rub the lamp. I ate 4 tacos before I came over here. Everything was attended to. I'm like really like I want to like this. I want to like these things. I want to sit down and read Archie comics and think they're fucking hilarious.
Okay, first of all, the new Archie comics are actually really good.
Have you read the new Casper the Friendly Ghost?
Is this true?
Not bad.
You're on a comic podcast. That might be true.
That was probably a stupid kind of joke to try to play here, but
No, because
to me it was fun.
it took me a second. I was like, wait a minute.
It sucked.
Jared was like, dude, they got Casper?
Is this Fatso Reborn?
Archie is good though.
No, I really do. I really do, and I think that I don't know. You get so in a condition. I think I've just been like way too fucking serious lately.
Yeah.
You know, and things have just it's like we gotta be serious and fucking business, and you know think about this and what's the next, you know, and just like nose to the grindstone.
Maybe if you don't think comics like this are funny, you need to take a deep breath and just let it out.
Yeah, I wish it were that. I wish like whenever you're being like too much wherever, you know, like up in your head, that just a few deep breaths, maybe a few deep breaths over.
Actually, I got a perfect solution. If you're trying to like lighten up,
Yeah.
you go to the bathroom, close the door, make sure there's a mirror. You just pull your pants down. You just wiggle your wiener around. You can't be angry if you do that.
Do you do that, dude?
No, I just thought of it now.
Oh, okay.
But
I was hoping you did it.
I was trying to think of a way to do like to become less serious, no matter how pissed off you
Yeah.
are. You can't not laugh if you see your own dick wiggling around the mirror.
Yeah.
That's
Just
really
theoretical.
Yeah, women. I guess just play with the boobs. If you don't have boobs, I don't know. Butt stuff maybe.
Butt stuff.
Smack your butt.
Smack your butt. Just wiggle your butt.
I had a girlfriend years ago who used to say almost the exact same thing. And I'm sure you know who this person is.
Probably yes.
And they would just be like, "Are you sad?" Yeah. All right. Well, and then just all the clothes came off and be like, "We're just going to jump around, and dangly parts are just going to fly everywhere." And it worked. It did.
That's fucking excellent.
Yeah. There's nothing sexual about it. It's just you get naked and just everything just wobbles.
Oh, speaking of that, we did. I did black yoga.
When did you do black yoga?
Our friend, I think Chris is talking about. I went over, we hung out, and she bought the whole video. Well, I'm not going to say now, but she had the video, and we did black yoga. And Chad was in the video. Fucking Bagaki's in the video. There's a bunch of people I was like, I know all these
Yeah,
people.
Danielle's in the video.
Yeah, Danielle's in the video. Yeah. But it was good. I liked the tone of it. So shout out to Chad and the black yoga people.
Yeah.
It was cool. So Shirtless Bear Fighter.
I don't know, man. For me, this book was fucking garbage, but it also suggested to me maybe I'm just kind of a miserable prick right now. maybe at this point in my life, like I just don't think anything's funny.
Look at how much Greg is smiling at this book.
I know. I know.
help
Like
him.
this is
Come
where I
through
want to
right
be. I want to be there. I want to be Winnie the Pooh, you know? I want to just be able to read something and see it for what it is, and it's just like, oh, that's a cock. That's funny. It's a giant cock on a little baby. Like,
It's a real like razor thin line that you walk with that kind of humor, you
Right.
know, because it's either like you think like, oh yeah, this is funny because like anybody could write it, or you feel like this is dumb because anybody could write this shit.
Right,
And
exactly.
it's like I think you either just fall on one line or the other, and it either works or it doesn't.
Well, we did a book called Americarati, and we felt like it fell on the other side of the line, where it was like, I could write this. It's not, I had to just be like, let's think of the most ridiculous things we can think of and just put them in a fucking book. But like, I think this comes on the other side of the line where a lot of these jokes are actually funny, and sometimes they're funny because they're clever, and sometimes they're funny because they're just ridiculous.
I don't think there's a clever moment in that book.
They use the word bearerists.
That's not really clever.
I'm joking. That was a really shitty joke. That was one of the worst jokes in there. But no, I think there are some actually. I'd have to read it again. But
Like when we were talking about earlier, in order to write something funny about dumb people, to create something funny, like it's the subtleties is where the hilarity is, where the humor is.
This is the opposite of that, though. This
There's
is a bunch of people who are smart, presumably. Like the CIA.
There's nothing in this book that indicates to me that there's.
No, it's a bunch of CIA agents who are trying to recruit who is apparently an expert martial artist or like the toughest man in the world.
He was raised by bears. He's just brutally strong.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. But anyway, but they apparently are smart people. They work for like a government agency, but they're doing something that's really dumb. It's the opposite of like Trailer Park Boys or something.
Right.
So like when you deal with people who are really smart doing something that is clearly stupid as fuck, I think that's the opposite of, which is still funny. Like, in fact, the woman in this book, her point of view is the kind of the audience point of view. She's like, dude, what the fuck was that? You just like saw like a naked dude with a big dick who's like fights bears all the time? Like, what are we doing? Explain this to me, please.
Yeah, she was like, he says something about like back in W2.
Yeah.
And she's like, how old are you?
Yeah. And he doesn't explain that at all.
Yeah.
He just moves on.
Yeah. It's just not there. I like the wit. I like the subtlety. Like that's what's hilarious to me. This
isn't for you then. It's not.
It
It's
has
a
it in
completely different type of
spades.
humor.
Yeah, huge cock on small baby.
It's a different type of wit. It's in there. I'm telling you.
It is. I agree with Greg. There is wit in there.
It is glowing off the page.
Yeah,
it's
right.
And it's like between the words. I can't even quote it.
Shut the fuck up.
I'm serious.
He's not-
I know. He is serious. And I agree with him.
Yeah.
No, he's not serious.
I am honest to God
The whole
serious.
thing is like
He does look elated right now.
Yeah.
It's not wit, though. I agree with Dan on this one. It's not that there's wit to this type of humor. It's a different type of humor.
I think it's like it's a very the whole thing's tongue in cheek, like super tongue in cheek. Where you're like, we all get what we're saying here. Right?
I don't think it's witty, though. I really don't.
Oh, I don't know.
I don't think that's there.
It's like pointing out what people do. It's like pointing out and amplifying what you think about with movies like Rambo 2 or with Bear Grylls, whatever, and man, I don't know, like Commando. It's like let's just push it a little. Like so many of there's enough connective tissue that people aren't connecting between those different things, entities that like let's just like put them all in the same story and they'll be indistinguishable from one another for a minute.
Right.
And like taking a step back, you realize, oh wow, these all do belong in the same category.
Yeah.
It's great.
Right.
I don't know.
Even Batman. There's a fucking bear plane.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
I forgot about that bear play, man. That's ridiculous.
Yeah, that was stupid as fuck.
I think there's not much funny on surface level about it. I think the humor derives from the fact that, having said that, somebody took the time to make this. It's like you can think in your own head as you're driving home, like, oh, wouldn't this be funny? I put this shit together. But like somebody actually thought that randomly and then did it. And that partially to me is always part of the humor. Like somebody really actually did this.
Right.
But it is also, as Greg pointed out, it is like a farce or like a send up of those sorts of things, like those action movies that are, when you watch them, you're like, yeah, this is ridiculous. But you don't, when you get absorbed in the movie, you don't think how ridiculous this actually is. Like, Arnold Schwarzenegger lives in a fucking cabin with just his daughter, and like, then they come and someone kidnaps his daughter for no reason, and a guy wears a chainmail shirt, and you're like, what the fuck? Like, what? This takes that and is like, here's what you're really watching when you watch something like that.
But I just found a comic strip that I drew when I was I don't know, maybe 14. Probably 14, 13, and it was stuffed bears, like teddy bears that bled and were hyper violent, and I had just seen that that image from China where the tank, the guy was standing there in front
Tiananmen
of
Square.
Yeah, was that Tiananmen Square where he did that? Where he had the groceries.
Yeah.
And they ran him
I
over.
think it's a briefcase. Is it groceries or I don't know. What he's holding. It doesn't matter.
Whatever, it doesn't matter. Guy standing in front of the tank.
Yeah.
And I depicted
They
that
didn't-
with
they
teddy
didn't run him
bears. He died.
No, he didn't.
Yes, he did.
No,
he
he
got
didn't.
killed.
No, he didn't.
Yes, he did.
No, he didn't. He was not run over.
He got killed.
He was taken away into the crowd.
I think he got killed.
No, not on camera anyway.
I thought there were pictures of him pancaked.
No.
Yeah, I think.
No.
Yeah,
Fucking look that. No.
We gotta have.
That man was escorted away by the military police and obviously killed. But later, no one actually knows who that was. It was just that little video. That's all there is of that. Eventually, some people came and took him away into the crowd. Because I thought I was like, are there pictures of this guy getting run over? And I went out of my way to find. He did not get run over.
Anyway, it doesn't matter. I drew a fucking cartoon of that, and in that cartoon, the person in the tank blew the teddy bear up into pieces, and I drew the pieces flying everywhere and some guts on the ground. That's that. That is that book. I did it when I was 13. There's another one where they get into an argument, the two teddy bears, and the one dismembers the other one with a chainsaw. Yeah, it's like that. It's like that. Oh, this is so ridiculous. Teddy bears who chop each other up with chainsaws.
I can't agree with that.
It is.
No, no, that's not at all what's going on.
It's the same. I could write it. It'd be
not
better. It'd sell more.
This is a contentious episode. We have a lot of different opinions.
Very
on this
much
category.
so.
Yeah.
I like that though.
Go ahead.
No, I think a lot, maybe not a lot, but I think some people would even dial that back and apply that to something like Evil Dead. You see people that if they can get into that random kind of whatever, anything goes, happy-go-lucky, dark side kind of humor, they love Evil Dead. But if someone can't get that, they fucking hate it. And they're like, why would you even like this? This
is stupid.
Completely oblivious to why you might enjoy that film.
Yeah.
I mean, to a lesser extent, but...
Right. Yeah, absolutely right. Yeah. Any kind of tongue-in-cheek... what's the?
But Evil Dead's so good.
It is. You're right.
So good.
Well, the second one is good. The first one is fun to watch. It's not the second one's basically the same movie, but a better.
Army of Darkness is fantastic.
Greg, you don't agree with that?
Greg's a first movie kind of guy. He is Alien.
Road Warrior is better than Mad Max.
Yes.
Okay.
Correct.
But Mad Max is still cool.
It's awesome.
Yeah. The favorite part of Mad Max is whenever they first show the new engine to him, and it zooms in on there while he's just staring at it, and zooms in. You realize this moment is probably the most rush of the biggest rush that Max feels out of all three movies, where it's yes, this thing is the future. This is going to be my life. Anyway, whatever. No, the first Evil Dead. I think it's cool because it's that I like seeing how much someone can do with how little, and I know that movie has an advantage in that sense because it was everybody's first movie, and it ended up how it ended up organically. And by the time the second movie happened, it you could kind of see that some of the effect is calculated. Where they're making decisions in the second movie based on how the first movie was received. Before we had this balance of horror and humor. Where the humor is borderline, is it intentional or not intentional? And now it's definitely intentional. So, I guess that's why it has there's less. I don't know. I don't want to say there's less subtlety to it because I know that kind of belies the thing that you were saying with how the point of seeing the movie is how over the top it is. But
maybe you could say the second movie is it's a more polished, intentional version. And if you enjoy watching the process or the proto version of something, then you'll probably like the first one better. But if you want a great example of that kind of movie, the second one's a better movie.
Yeah, that specifically. It is more categorized,
Right.
more categorizable.
Yes.
Yes.
I think what you touched on that I really liked was the idea that you're not really sure which way it goes. It kind of keeps you guessing. Am I supposed to laugh? Am I supposed to just think this is fucked up? It's like all the components that make a good pro wrestling match. You're like, is this? I know it's not real, but did these guys not like each other, or did something happen at the bar?
Like there's a couple lines of dialogue where Scott, they're giving a toast, and he's like, "Oh, I was gonna give it to," like Ash is saying, like, "Oh, I was gonna give a toast to, this is for our," and Scott says, "Party down," and like you're like, "Wow, this is really awkward dialogue," and they couldn't have possibly done that intentionally. And then whenever they're all looking down the cellar because they heard a noise, and one girl says, like, "Maybe it was just an animal," and he's like, "An animal? Oh, that is the dumbest thing I have ever heard," or stupidest thing. That's what I can think of what he said. Then his own girlfriend says the same thing, and he's like, "Yeah, you're probably right." And I'm like, I don't know if they were meaning that to be as funny as it is, or if that was like also an oversight because it's so dumb. I don't know.
That's fucking hilarious.
Yeah. Oh, it's brilliant. I love it. Levels of interpretation.
Right, and maybe that's what we're talking about here. Yes.
Or it could be I'm just miserable.
You're miserable.
Or you need to go jump around with your dick in front of a mirror.
Yeah.
I might.
That's what you need. Yeah. No, you first off, you got to jerk off again. I don't care what anyone says. I don't care how recent you jerked off.
It's never bad advice.
You could have jerked off while we were talking about this. I'm going to tell you to jerk off again, okay? Get your head straight there, all right? Go rub the lamp, all right? First, and then you're going to need to see your wiener twirling around a little bit. Kind of like when a plane goes down in the ocean and it twirls. That's what I need your wiener to look like.
Oh,
right?
What do they call that? What do they call that?
Tailspin?
Is that what it is? A tailspin?
No,
yeah.
it's got his.
Yeah.
Now there's another.
All right, so anyways, you got to do that, okay? And you got to, maybe smell a scent that you don't quite like. I feel like that's something like when you smell like your BO, you're like, whew, all right, you know what? Things aren't that bad anymore. I understand that. That's, yeah. It's
I got a bag of cat poop in the other week.
Oh,
No,
man.
that's fucking terrible.
No, because, and then you'll like that comic versus a bag of cat poop. I mean, you're going to like that comic a lot more. See? You already said, you were like, no, I don't want to do that. How bad is that comic now?
What do you like? This bag of cat shit or this comic? I guess I like the comic.
I like that nobody questioned that I have a bag of cat shit.
Dude, I was thinking that this whole time. I was waiting for a break in the conversation. Like, dude, why are you? Yes, why do you have a bag of cat shit? Why are you keeping it?
Because it's in a Ziploc.
But wait, why are you putting
No,
it?
that didn't answer my question at all. I didn't ask you how you were keeping it fresh. I wanted to know what the fuck you're still doing with it.
Well, it's because
What are you doing to that cat shit, man?
Yes. It's
What is this,
easier.
ancient Egypt?
It's easier to throw the cat shit away once a week than it is once a day. So I just have it next
Dude,
to
the woods are like, you have a sliding door on your bedroom that leads to the woods. Yeah, in the woods, like you could throw that cat shit in the woods, no problem.
Yeah, but then I have to transport it to the woods somehow, and I'm not gonna have a container for cat shit other than a bag.
We should make a catapult. A cat shit catapult.
I thought you intentionally said that.
cat shit-apult.
A catapult.
Yeah.
That's what you were going for.
No,
You
I was
weren't
just
trying
really-
to be funny there.
I wasn't.
Wow.
It was unintentional. See, kind
prime
of like
example.
whenever he was pulling the stuffing from the chair out of his ear and shoving it. And,
That was intentional.
Blurring the line.
retrospective. I can take credit for it.
I mean, it was funny.
And the brilliance of Bear Shirt Fighter.
That was actually
Bear Fighter.
Bear shirt.
a weird little
Bear
meta.
shirt. Fuck this
Yeah,
book.
it was.
That was like a little meta example of what we were just talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Like
Which means you now agree with us.
no, it means I was right.
Well, are you saying that so? Should we give you credit for the joke or not?
No, you shouldn't.
Oh,
You should not.
all right.
That's like
I was willing to.
no, you shouldn't. There's no way. It was unintentional.
I was going to give you the benefit of the doubt.
No.
I believe in you, Dan, even if you don't.
I have one thing since we're talking about this type of humor that I have to bring up that was amazing. Has anybody here watched Blood Drive on Sci-Fi yet?
No.
Oh man! All right, so nobody going around? No, nobody. And everyone
Sounds
looked at me.
terrible. You said Blood Drive on Sci-Fi.
I know, right? Sounds horrible, right? No, just the best. 5 out of 5 stars.
You lost me at blood.
Oh, buckle up. So
Buckle up, buckaroo.
it takes place.
I almost did it.
It takes place in the harsh dystopian future of 1999
Nice. Okay.
with a whole new metal soundtrack.
Is this a movie that just came out?
This is a TV show.
What?
yeah,
man.
on Sci-Fi.
Like a current one.
Oh,
New
yeah.
metal.
I am 2 episodes in.
Oh, just NU.
Yeah.
Yeah, new metal, like Manson, like lighter '90s Deftones. Like these are the bands that are, White Zombie, all that type of stuff is the soundtrack. And the plot is a cop gets mixed up into the the upper echelon 1% of dystopian America, and they have these races with cars that race each other across America from coast to coast, but the cars run on blood.
I knew you were going to say that.
Wow. Wow.
So they have to murder people to fuel their vehicles.
Oh yeah, and you open
As opposed to just having, like, robbing blood banks, because it's way easier to do it. Like,
hey.
listen.
What?
Listen to yourself right now.
Yeah, don't be a pouty puss, okay?
It's the
quit your
dumbest
pouty
shit ever.
pussing over there.
How many quarts of blood do we have? 6?
I don't know. Who cares?
What does that
I wanna
translate
see-
to in gallons?
I want to see people get murdered and put into cars.
Yeah, and now listen. Let me tell you how this works,
dumb.
okay?
I
Because
hate
I think you're thinking about like measuring blood and stuff. No, what they do is they just open up the hood, and the engine itself has teeth. And they just throw bodies in there like a wood chipper.
It's Little Shop of Horrors with cars.
It is.
Oh.
That's excellent.
And also, because I didn't know this, Sci-Fi is not subject to the FCC's rules, which is why, I don't know if you guys watch The Magicians or not, but that show is phenomenal. The first season's on Netflix. The second season is crazy, like nudity, like crazy violence. They drop a fuck bomb at least 10 times an episode.
Wow.
And I was like, how can they do this? How is this possible? They are not subject to the FCC.
Why?
Good for you, Sci-Fi.
Because most cable channels aren't, and
Yeah.
most people don't realize that. But the Sci-Fi was like, we could just do this, and the FCC was like, well, yeah, we have no jurisdiction. They were like, well, we're going to do whatever we want. They can't show hardcore nudity, but they can show. Like I've seen shows where they show women's breasts. You can get a titty shot.
Wow.
Well, that's all Comedy Central used to do. I don't know if they still do it, but they did the late night thing where it's like
Right.
uncut or whatever.
Yeah.
With like robot chicken and all
Yeah.
that shit.
Yeah, it's only subject, I believe, to the FCC regulations through like 7 p.m., something like that. And I don't know, I'm not going to look it up on my phone or anything,
Right.
but it's something along those lines, between 7 and 9. And that's actually there was a backtracking fact about that when I looked it up, where in the 90s on Friends, they had a lesbian wedding, and at that time, that was like a huge deal. And apparently the FCC fought that, and they were like, no, you don't have any regulations about this right now. But that was on par with showing nudity at that time.
FCC wouldn't show a lesbian wedding.
Nope.
Or they wanted to try to
They
shut
wanted
it down.
they wanted to try and shut it down, yeah. And they had to move the episode for Friends to like 9:30 or 10 o'clock at night in order to stop any type of fees that would ensue for that.
What a fucking backwards ass country. Podunk hillbilly fucking Federal Communication Commission. Jesus Christ. Based out of the foothills of the Appalachians. You fucking hicks. Holy shit, man.
Well, that's what happens when your state is founded by like people who literally got kicked out of Europe for being lame.
Yeah. God damn it. That's so that really upset
We
me.
went to worship God in our way. People are like, yeah, that's fine. Get the fuck out of here. That's cool. Bye. It's a dangerous journey, by the way. I don't know. Whatever. See ya.
We are the
gonna
generation
fuck.
that is the death rattle of those people.
I know. I'm glad.
Thank
about that.
God.
Yeah.
But we are still the death rattle.
Yes. Yeah. All right. Well, so we'll go around the room.
We are the death rattle.
On a light
would
note.
you read more Shirtless Bear Fighter, Amuck?
I probably wouldn't, and that's not. I don't know if that's reflective on the quality of the book, as insofar as I'm like rereading '90s X-Men and stuff with my kids, and I'm like, I'm not a huge scope comic reader, so I probably wouldn't. But I have a couple friends that I think would really dig that kind of humor that I'd probably send it to, and I would probably recommend.
Cool. Chris?
I did like it. I don't know if I'd read it, though. Like the second one. But I did like this first one.
All right. Jer?
Yep, sweet as fuck.
Yep. Greg?
Yeah, definitely. I'm on board.
Yeah.
You already know how I feel about this.
I will definitely read the next one, and I'm going to tell Dan about every single one that I read. So I think that's about wraps it up for this episode. We did a lot of stuff there. So you can find us at grownuphumans.com, epicastnetwork.com /grownuphumans, iTunes, Stitcher, Facebook, YouTube at Grownup Human Comic People, Twitter, Tumblr, Instagram at Grownup Humans. Make sure to rate and review the show, please. Amuck, where can we find you again?
Amuck 412, Facebook, YouTube, whatever you want to type up your wildest dreams. Imagine just on that social media bullshit. It's Amuck 412, so go for it.
Cool. That is the end of the show. Thanks for listening. We are the Humans. Peace up. A-Town down. Everybody have a
Human